BassResinator here. Okay, this is sort of an unboxing that I got from Laura's Art Corner. I just recently agreed to be an affiliate with Laura, and she goes, "Okay, I want you to pick out a few things, and I'll send them to you, and then you can start working on that." So I did. Well, she went way overboard with how much stuff she sent. This is one of the molds that I liked. It's like a chiseled edge dish, possibly a votive candle holder mold, which is kind of cool. And then this heart with a spot for a candle. And then this one I wanted a lot. I have seen, I think it was Marva from Marvelous Artsy. She does these little, it's either her or Reptiles and Resin Lady. I don't remember which. But doing these little piggy bank type things. But this is an elephant one. And it's going to be fun. Got grandkids, you know. I got to start making stuff for them. And then this little container looks like a golf ball pattern on the inside. That's what I'm calling it. And then she sent also, oh come on, it's sliding off. Same pattern, but this one is for a candle holder. And then a gigantic square thing. Could be a container to hold some pens or things of that sort. And then I wanted the angel wings in the shape of a heart. And this is the small one, and then this is the large one. So I got that. And then I ordered, or I told her I wanted some pyrite chips, because I like putting stones and things in mine. And she goes, well, since you're getting pyrite chips, you might as well have a pyrite cluster. I got to figure out what I want to do with that. And then I did not specify these, but fairy dust sparkle, some glass. I did want smoky quartz because that's an alternate birthstone. And so yeah, so smoky quartz, smaller ones, and then larger size. And then she threw in these shells, which is kind of cool. This is an abalone shell. This looks like a scallop. Big one, and it's real shells, you know, not little fakey things, and then a bunch of other things inside of that. So this is the stuff that you will see in the coming weeks, months. But I also got, and I don't have it in here in the bedroom because I've already put it in my color area, a couple iridron colors, a bronzish copper type. I can't remember exactly which. It's a coppery color, almost an old gold style, and then a silver one. Oh, and those are so potent. I mean, they go a long ways. Those are cool. And then she threw in Color Passion olive paste, which is kind of neat. But then we're going to go do the pièce de résistance, and I'll take you into my workshop now. This is a huge mold, and it's a bowl, and it reminded me of that old glass. We've got my wife and I have it's not a round bowl, but it's an oblong one. But it's that cobalt blue, you know, those vintage pieces that people used to have around their home. And that's what this design, it's got these little knobbies here with little slits, and then this diamond cut pattern. But Laura did say you're gonna have to do something with it because the mold is kind of weird. That support doesn't go down far enough and it will sink. So I have two molds to hold it up, to support it. So we shouldn't have any giving and stuff. It should just go straight down and be a really cool thing. So I'm going to try and recreate a vintage piece bowl. And since Laura does deal with octopus inks, she can get them here in the United States. So I'm going to use, in order to try and recreate that color, Smurf resin ink and Lagoon alcohol ink, and it needs to be on the darker side but still be able to see through it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This, I looked up trying to figure out how much, because this is a huge piece, trying to figure out how much resin this is going to hold. And I found a similar mold on one of the sites, and I don't remember exactly where it was, but it says about 25 ounces. So that's what I'm going to mix up. I'm going to use Bondcrafter 1-to-1 to do this, because it's not like super thick. It's just this big shape. So I'm going to mix up 25 ounces. If that's not enough, well, then I'll have to mix up some more. But that's what I'm going to be doing, so I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, I ended up mixing up 26 ounces. Now that looks much darker than it actually is, if you could see it from the side. And I put in quite a bit of colorant to get it dark enough to where I think it looks like that cobalt glass. So I hope I can pour it without... I just got it out of the vacuum chamber too, so it should be relatively bubble free. And it's making its way down to the bottom. Let me see if I can stop right there for just a bit and squeeze around the bottom to make sure there's no bubbles trying to hang out. There's one right there. Come on up. I could see it hanging on the... It shows up if you're looking with if you're working with a mold that's like this, that's basically see-through, but still a bit opaque, but not. You can actually see the bubbles, and they'll appear white. And there was a little one here. There was one here, and there was one over here. I'm looking to make sure I got them all. That is a pretty color. Will I achieve the cobalt glass look? Now this is a relatively about a ½ inch, maybe a little bit less than a ½ inch thick piece when I get it out. So it's going to be substantial. Well, like I said, 26 ounces. And it used every bit of that. And it looks like I'm going to need to mix up just a bit more. Except right here, what's the deal there? Why is that going down? This is sticking up, this is sticking up. That right there is down. I don't know what's going on there. Oh no, did it set there? I can't move it. Wonkiness here on the bottom. My wife had a book sitting out on the counter. Wonky Donkey. I don't know if any of you have ever read that. And I was being silly and making different voices, and she goes, I don't like that voice. So I tried a different voice. I don't like that voice. So I tried Arnold Schwarzenegger. No. And I've had some friends that have been hard of hearing, and I can, not to be mean or anything, but I can definitely imitate the way they sound, because I know what's going on. They can't hear, so their ears are not working correctly, but they have the sensation of what it feels like on the inside of their mouth. So they raise their soft palate really high, and they open up their mouth really wide, and it comes out. And please do not take this as me teasing anybody that's possibly hard of hearing. But I can talk like that, and it's actually, if you want to be an opera singer, if you can learn how to do this and speak like this, which is really kind of weird, then you just put a lot of pressure with the diaphragm, and you'll come out with a voice like that. So, yeah. So my professor, this is back in the 80s, early 80s. Get that dumb feeling, and that's dumb feeling. You know, like you can't speak well, like people that are deaf and dumb, not meaning they're unintelligent or anything of that sort. See, I don't know how that's going to work. What might be cool, why is that side right there so high? I don't know, but I can see a bubble hanging up right there. Well, let me mix up a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe 2 ounces, 3 ounces, and I'll come back to you. Okay, I put in 4 more ounces actually, and had to close that door because my wife she got a whole bunch of stuff in the mail and she's trying to figure out where to go, and it filled out most of it except right here and right here. So what I'm thinking I can do is put something that's not very heavy. I don't know if this is heavy enough. We'll try one on the other side too. I just don't want it falling off. Maybe that's gonna hold it. Okay, now we just sit and wait for it to cure. On that last little bit, I didn't mix up that blue enough. Look at that. Well, it'll eventually pull in as it cures. It's going to be coming in, but here's hoping for the best. And thank you, Laura, for all of these goodies, man. I was like, what? Huge box. Okay. I will see you when it's time to unmold this puppy. Bye. Well, I walked away, and when I came back, those little silicone cups had fallen off, and it popped up here and popped up over, not here where it had been, but over here. And I'm like, oh, and it had already cured enough to where I'm like, bummer. So what I did was I mixed up a couple more ounces and went and it went underneath that lip and underneath this lip, and it filled the rest of it. So it's pretty much cured, but I'm gonna move it because I need this workspace, and this is taking longer. And what usually happens when I do project that takes a little bit longer is I have it here where I work on it under the camera, and then I'll move it somewhere else to unmold it or whatever. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. This is huge, very big. Okay, can't wait to unmold that for you. I think I'll wait till tomorrow because it's already, what, almost 9 p.m. So just to let that little bit that's on the top cure up all the way, and then that way that we'll get that pattern all the way around instead of just a little spot and then have it bump up, which would look really weird. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Well, all cured up, but I noticed there is bulging here, super bulging here. So I think this mold is just poorly constructed. I'm not sure exactly where Laura got this this mold from, but it seems like they need twice as many of these ribs, and this thing needs to come all the way up to the bottom part or top part or whatever you want to call that. But in order to prevent that bulging there and there and there and there and there, I have no idea what it's supposed to, or what it's going to look like when I pull it out. But I don't think it's going to look like what it's supposed to look like. So I don't know exactly how to get this mold to work and keep that bulging from happening. So, oh, got dog hairs on it. Goodness. Let's see how easy this is to unmold. I like that pattern though. The back side, to me, that with that pattern is really pretty. Sorry about that, not being able to look at that. That's just exquisite. We'll see how this looks with those bulges on the front. Laura was saying that maybe to put a bowl underneath, and maybe that's what she was referring to prevent those. Wow. Put the mold back in order. I got the color I like a lot. The design on the outside I like a lot. These bulges look really odd. It's gonna work, but not the not have the design that I had in my mind. I thought it was just gonna be a smooth, well, it is smooth, but I thought it was just gonna be a flatter surface on the inside. Well, cobalt blue glass, fake glass because it's resin. Pieces of that resin that came off the outside of that mold where it started to spill at one point. I really like the color, and I really like that design on the bottom or the outside. Not too thrilled about that bumpy, but thank you, Laura, for partnering with me or letting me be an affiliate for your small business. Yeah. If you are a subscriber of mine or of Laura's, but specifically on mine at this point, thank you so very much. If you're a subscriber of Laura's, also thank you. If you're I keep saying partner. If you're a subscriber of mine but not of Laura's, consider subscribing to her channel. It'll be in the description below. Or if you're a subscriber of Laura's and you're not of mine, consider subscribing to mine. Yeah. So, this is the first of many molds that she sent. So, keep your eyes open. If you're not a subscriber and you'd like to be, just go down and push the subscribe button. And while you're there, push the button that has an icon of a bell that'll notify you of any time I do anything new and when I post it. And this channel does have memberships available if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Just click the button that says join. Yeah. So, very cool. This, I don't know, maybe if it didn't have these lumps, it wouldn't have taken as much, because it ended up taking almost 30 ounces. I think it's supposed to take 25, and I could see, man, that is thick there. That's about an inch. And this one's a little over an inch thick. That one's well over an inch thick. Goodness. But this design, wow. Cool. If I can figure out a way to either keep it from doing this or to create some more ribs on it so that it'll support so it won't do that, that would be ideal. To me, it's sort of like, I don't know if any of you have ever worked with drywall or sheetrock or whatever you call it, wherever you are, plasterboard in a home. If your studs, the wooden studs, are 16 inches apart, it's very hard. If they're 18 inches apart, it's a little softer. If they're like, we found out at one of the colleges I went to, they had theirs at 24 inches apart. And all you had to do was just lean with a little bit of weight against the wall, and bam, there was a big old hole in it. We're like, oh, it wasn't me. It was one of my friends. We were laughing, and he put his hand on the wall because he was laughing so hard he couldn't stand up. Oh, hummingbirds are out there. Cool. And he went right through the wall. He ended up having to pay like $300 to have it replaced and then have it put in. Poor guy. Anyway. So those ribs, if they were closer together or have more of them, I wonder if I could fashion a rib using silicone. You know, I wonder if silicone putty would work. Just fashion a rib and stick it on there. Maybe I'll have to try that, huh? Yeah, I'll think about it. And if I do something like that, I'll come back and show you another one with only using 25 ounces of resin. Anyway, thank you so very much, Laura. Go check out laurasartcorner.net if you are interested in any colorants. Everything I used in here, other than the resin, was Laura's Arts Corner and Laura's Arts Corner product. So, yeah, to get this color, use Smurf and Lagoon, and bam, pretty. Okay, we'll see you for the next one. Bye.